Hi, this is Education 385, Teaching Social Studies K-8, and for the spring 2005, the course that you're in now. So welcome. I am creating this video so that you will be able to better understand the layout of Blackboard and my expectations for this course. So I hope you will continue listening and viewing this video until the end. We are on the home page in Blackboard, and I've kind of set this up so that announcements will appear here. You'll have some tools to work with here. Your link to the library is here, and I would strongly advise you to use Blackboard because, as you know, as an online course, everything is submitted to me electronically. And if you're having problems with Blackboard, please, please, please refer to the help at Blackboard. Calling them. If you're on campus, you can go into the library and talk to them. You can set up an appointment if you're having problems with Blackboard. Don't use the excuse that you're having difficulty with Blackboard to deter you from getting work done on time. And then I have a little video here. It's NBC Social Studies, kind of history and current events, things that are happening. So that's just something else on this page as well. If I move ahead, you'll see the syllabus here. The page for the syllabus. And if you click on that, there we go. What I have done is created the schedule, which did not paste as well as I would like it to do, but you can see what the topic is and what assignments are due that week. If you open the syllabus, several things I want to point out to you. I scroll back. Here is my contact information. If you need to call me, here's my office number. This is my cell number. If you text me on my cell number, please make sure you include your name because I only will get your phone number and I don't know all of your phone numbers. So please let me know who it is because I'll write back and say, who is this? And then if you are on campus, I have office hours Tuesdays and Wednesdays, but please make sure you call ahead because I'm not always in my office. I sometimes have to be at a meeting. And then every student can have a free WebEx account, and I would like you to set that up eventually. And you can do that through contacting the OIT helpline, and they will help you out as well, the technology helpline. And they'll help you get an account set up. And we may try to do a WebEx meeting this semester if we can find a mutually agreed upon time that we can all, or most of us, can meet to see each other and talk a little bit at the same time. I'm going to run through the syllabus a little bit. We have our mission statement. The principles caring, excellent leadership, and diversity are at the utmost front of anything we do. We are NCATE accredited, which is really important, especially if you decide that you're going to continue your schooling out of state. There's a reciprocal agreement with 22, I think, of our states that if you are in that state, that all of your credits will be accepted and you won't have to continue on to add additional unless it's like the history of the state or whatever. We do look at our dispositions of our teacher candidates. We look at disposition of character, intellect, and practice. Here's the course description. And in this course, you're going to learn about integrating social studies into other academic areas, other content areas. These are the objectives. The required text is Suna and Haas, and it's called Social Studies for the Elementary and Middle Grades, a Constructivist Approach. It's the 4th edition. And you'll also need this link here to the Common Core Standards. There aren't Common Core Standards for Social Studies, but you'll be able to find the Social Studies Standards at that link. You do not need to purchase this book. If you have already, because it was in the text bookstore, please take it back. You do not need to purchase it. I told them they do not need to sell it. They have a few extra copies for people who might be interested. There are a lot of activities in it, but you can find a lot of activities online. Now these are the course assignments. These assignments are also posted in the assignments page on Blackboard as well. But these are the assignments, and these are the description, and as well as each individual assignment also has some exemplars for you, so you'll be able to follow those as well. So if you read through the description and go to this page, you'll find the description. If you go here, you'll find the description. But there are about 9 assignments that you'll be doing on top of your weekly work. Now let me explain that so you have a better understanding. You will have not only work to do every week, which will be due, and I'll explain that in a minute, but you will also have some weeks an assignment due. Now your weekly work is worth 50 points. If you do the work, and that includes the group work and the individual work, because there is both, then you will get 50 points. If you don't do one of the activities, you won't get the points for it. That's all I can do online, is give you credit for the participation credit that you actually complete the activity. So I would suggest highly, and you're going to hear me say this several different times, do the group work first and get it out of the way, because if you wait till the end and do the group work, you may not be able to add to the group work and you won't get credit, or it won't help the group if you wait till the bitter end of the time when the weekly work is due and then create the group work. So I would always suggest do the group work first. Be the first one on, be the second one on, take care of that, and then go and do your individual work when you have time. If you do not do the group work and you try to go back to do it later on after the week, you will not get credit. You might for your individual work, but you won't for your group work because you haven't benefited the group by your help. Anyways, then there's a twin text experience, looking for 2 books, usually a nonfiction and a fiction, a novel or a textbook, those kind of things. And there are exemplars, again, for this assignment in the twin text assignment, so you can see what previous students have done. You're going to create a cultural learning experience. You're going to go to experience some other culture that you've never experienced before. You're going to take you out of your comfort zone. There are many examples of that. If you need some help figuring out what that might be, you can talk to me about that. There's some information here in the cultural learning experience page as well. You're going to create an integrated lesson plan. You're going to create a unit outline. You're going to do some investigation with technology. And you're going to also do a major project, which is our community service learning experience. And this community service project has already been assigned to you. And you'll need to check your schedule to make sure you can do it. But you'll get all the credit, and this does give you the credit for the community service requirement that the university requires of you. So if you haven't taken the 1-hour community service project, you will then get credit for that in your GEs. So what the community service project is for this semester is to assist and volunteer in the Family Literacy and Math Conference, which is scheduled for May 2nd. It's all day, so check your calendars. Please make sure you've got that day free at least. You need some other time free too, because you need to put in about 20 hours. That day counts for about 10 hours. So if you, and our class, both of my social studies classes, are going to work with the students on a craft project when they first get off the buses when they come to this conference. So let me explain this Literacy and Math Conference. It is a partnership we have with Pomona School District. We also will have some from a couple other school districts, some students from a couple other districts as well. But it'll be about 700, 800 students from Pomona primarily, and they come in on that Saturday, May 2nd, and what they will do is they'll get off the buses and they get some books, and they will also do a craft. It's a sponge activity until we start the day. Then they will go off to literacy and math sessions, workshop sessions that are designed by students and by some teachers out in the teaching field. And students will go to 2 sessions, and then they will have get to meet some authors. We have about 11 authors coming this conference, and they can go to 2 sessions with authors, and then they can purchase author's book. They'll have lunch, and then we have a large assembly in the afternoon, and you will be working all day. So please clear your calendars. If you have an issue with this, you'll need to talk to me, but it's for May 2nd, 2015. Now, because you need 20 hours, you're going to need to have some other time as well to work on this community service project. So Tuesday, April 21st, from about 3:30 to 6:30, we're going to be sorting books at Harrison Elementary School in the Pomona Unified School District. And I will give you the address and how to get there, but you'll be required to come and help that day as well. And then Friday, the times will be May 1st, the day before. You may be needing to be assisted in preparation for the conference, and then you'll be spending the whole day. And look at the time, 7 to at least until about 4. Probably won't be after 4. It may even be 3. So that is going to be your community service project for this class. If you have some difficulties meeting this schedule or working on this project, you need to contact me to let me know. What you will then do is write a reflective journal, including the dates and times that you participated in this, and you'll write about that, and you'll address the 3 bullets up here. Last but not least is your professional website and portfolio, and this is your final exam, and this is the portfolio that you have created in EDUC 407, and you can add a social studies page to that and put in all of your assignments and some of the other resources. There's a description here of what needs to go in there, and then you'll create a screencast, and you're going to share your portfolio in the screencast, and you're going to talk a little bit about what was a challenging assignment or project, what was one that really you enjoyed a lot, which one best reflects you as a potential teacher. It's about less than 5 minutes. You don't have to go over it, and then you'll submit that screencast and your portfolio, and that's going to be your final at the end of the semester. Here is the assessment and the assignments or the projects that we have and how much they're worth. Here is your grade equivalent for percentages and a letter grade once we know the number of points, and it'll be most likely out of 2,000, but I'll give you that exact number at the end of the course. Again, the weekly schedule that you saw earlier. Some university policies about academic honesty, plagiarism, late work. I have a late work policy. Please read that. Attendance policy, class attendance. You are in class when you're online. It'll be about 3 hours worth of work at least for the activities that you do every week, and then probably another 2 hours for the assignments. So plan on structuring your week to accommodate 5 hours of time. If you think you're going to get in and get out in a half hour, you might have 5 of those half hours or 6 of those half hours, because you're going to, it does require you, and that is a university requirement for online work, is that you work 3 hours online and another 2 hours in your assignment. So you might have less. There will be some weeks that it won't be that intense, but there will be other weeks that it might take you a little bit more. So please, please, please schedule your time to accommodate that. I'm telling you that right up front now. If you can't do that, then I would suggest you change from this class to the, if there's room, to the hybrid class, because then you won't have to do it weekly. But if you're disciplined enough, you can do it. I have many students who have been very, very successful. Most of my students are in completing online work. But I do want to pre-warn you ahead of time. So I have my own attendance policy. I have the online attendance. To communicate with me, you can text me, you can email me, whatever works best for you. If you have a disability, let me know. I can accommodate you with that. That's not a problem. Here's some recommended websites and recommended journals and a little bibliography. So this is the syllabus. And I'm going to scroll down a little bit. The course calendar doesn't have anything on it yet because of the way it's set up. It's not really beneficial, but I'm going to try to work on it this semester and see if I can make it better than I did last semester. Again, here are your assignments. Again, these are all of the assignments I put in the syllabus are listed here, so you can refer to them there if you'd like to. Please check the assignment down here, because if you look what I have done, let me see if I've done it for this one. Okay, here is the learning target. If I click on this learning target, it tells you exactly how you can get an A, how you can get a B, or how you can get a C. Okay, So if you are here's the description, here's the learning target, that what you will accomplish, and then the must do is to get a C. You have to add these three things. If you want an A or a B, you have to do this part here. It doesn't state it, but I'm telling you now, that's what you have to do. And some of the learning targets do state it. Okay? And if you noticed, since I'm on here, I'll go back. These are the pacing guides that you will be using, or you can create your own. And here are the exemplars of some students that have already done this. And that you can certainly take a look at that as well. And the explanation of what to do is in the description. And I've done that for all of the assignments here. So if you're in doubt, check Blackboard. I will ask you, did you check Blackboard first? And don't forget, most of these have either a rubric or a learning target. So it's very easy to get an A in this class if you follow the learning target. Many times my students do not get an A grade because they forgot to look at the learning target. So I would check these out every time you have an activity, or I'm sorry, an assignment, and when it is due. I need you to look at this page in particular. This is the lesson plan and the objectives. And the objectives have to be written in an ABCD format. If you've never had me before, you will need to read this article that I'm bringing up to you right now, because it talks about how to write an objective in ABCD order and format. I have that as an activity to do in the first lesson, so please beware of what you need. And if you have some difficulty with it, read this article that I received from a student in regards to the model for writing objectives. I ask you to write this because it specifically states what a student will do and how they will do that objective, and in what way they'll master it. So if they don't have a degree in it, you don't know if they've mastered that objective for that lesson. So I ask you to write them very specifically. If you work with special education students in particular, they move along very slowly in their progress, but if you write objectives so that they meet those objectives, you'll see the progress of their work and what they've done, just like you will for the other students. So I find it a very good way to write an objective, and that you can actually measure and observe the objective. You'll be able to see it while the students are doing it, and you'll be able to measure it and be able to see if they've mastered it. If they don't master it, you have to go back and reteach, because that's where the gaps come in our education, is when students don't master a concept, a skill, then we move ahead, and then they have this gap because they haven't gotten the previous skill to build off of from the new skill. So you need to do those kind of things as well. So please check that out. If you have a question and answer, you can put it in the wiki, and other students can take a look at that and determine, maybe they can respond to you or I will respond to you. And you can also always send me an email and ask me the question as well. I usually get back to you within that day. Maybe on a weekend it might be a little bit longer, but I try to be as quick as I can and respond to you. The class blog, the wikis, and the discussions in the groups, you'll see those every week, and we'll have some work with that in there as well. I think that covers the class. If there's something that I forgot and you need an answer for, you have a question for, please ask me. Don't ever hesitate to ask me. Do not use an excuse that you couldn't get to me. You can get to me. And you can do it through my cell phone, my office phone. You can do it through texting me. You can email me, lots of different ways. And if we need to WebEx and look at your screen, look at my screen, we can certainly do that as well. That's very easy to do. So there's lots of different ways. You can also always meet with me in person if you need to. Other than that, I do want to show you the lessons are all in the lesson modules. I didn't get to that, and let me show you the first week. You'll see I have lots of weeks here, but you will not see that in yours. You will only see the first week and the week that's open. This week is open, so I'm going to click on this to show you what you're going to be doing this week. I'm sorry, let me go back for a minute because I want to. You will see a little description of what you're going to be doing this week. And it looks like you're going to, I'm welcoming you to this online course, and you're going to answer some questions to get to know you better. You're going to listen to the video to explain the week, and you're going to do some activities for purposeful and powerful social studies. So I'm going to click on week 1 to show you. And what you usually will see is I usually will have an explanation of the week. This will be an explanation of the course on Blackboard. You've already seen it in the announcements. It's here again. In case you need it, you can refer back to that. There will be a folder for readings, and there'll be a folder for activities. Sometimes there's a folder for assignments. You don't have an assignment for week 2. I think week 3, your Stars and Wishes are due. Your annual pacing scale is due. So you have some time for that. But if you look here, so you can listen to the explanation of the week, every week. If you click on this, those will be some readings, and there is an article this week for you to read. You should read chapter 1 as well in your book. Please also read chapter 1, it says there. And now this is the folder for activities. You're going to introduce yourself to the class about writing about yourself on the class blog, and you're going to include a picture of yourself. You can do a video if you want. You can see my information, which is posted in the instructor's information. You're going to complete the questionnaire about yourself, and you're going to add that. You're going to post it in your social studies journal. This is an optional task, but I give you extra credit if you complete the questionnaire. We ask kids to complete a questionnaire so we can get to know them better. And I want to get to know you better and start forming a relationship with you, even an online relationship. You want to click on the website to make the star in this folder. And this is an example of how teachers can create fun in teaching social studies. I want you to take a picture of your star and post it in the Purposeful and Powerful Social Studies Wiki. You're also going to add some information about Betsy Ross that you can find on the internet in this wiki with the picture that you've created. And this will give you a little indication of just how much information you can find on the internet about the different concepts, the different topics you're talking about in your social studies lessons. And then you're going to creatively respond to the article and information in the textbook as a reflection on how you as a classroom teacher can make teaching of social studies more powerful and more purposeful for your students. The creativity is up to you. The sky's the limit. And then you are to comment on 3 of your peers' reflections. And you're going to post that also in your Purposeful and Powerful Social Studies Wiki. And you want to maybe check back on your postings because you want to read what your colleagues have asked you or commented about. So this is basically what you will be doing every week, about 3 or 4 activities, some readings, and you'll be posting those on Blackboard. So this week you're going to use the class blog. Please don't use this one. I don't think you can see this one, but you're going to use this Purposeful and Powerful Wiki, and you're going to use this class blog. It looks a little bit different. You're going to see something a little bit different because I'm looking at it from the teacher's, instructor's viewpoint. You're going to have the student's viewpoint. But if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask me. I do need to explain to you that I always turn the week on a Friday. So this week you're going to have a little bit longer. I'm going to give it to you earlier. But usually it will be the last Friday of the week, and you have 9 days to complete it. So there'll be some overlapping. So for instance, you'll have from Friday to the following Sunday. So you'll have 2 weekends. So don't wait for the second weekend and say, oh, I can cruise by and get it done, or I'll just wait till Sunday. Because I'm telling you, especially if there's an assignment, you won't get it done. And you'll be the last for group work, and you won't be able to benefit your group by your addition because everybody else will have been on and you'll be the last one on. People check back to see what group work's doing in case they need to add something. You can certainly do that, and you're sometimes required to do that. But please, please, please don't wait for that second weekend. But I do give you 9 days because I know sometimes weekends are crowded and you don't have enough time. So you have from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the whole next week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now that second Friday, I will turn on the next week. At midnight, it's usually considered Saturday, I guess, but at the end of Friday, before Saturday starts at midnight, that will turn on and you'll have the next week already. So you'll have a weekend there, that last weekend of the week previous week, and the next week you'll have overlapping. But that's okay. You don't have to start that new week right away, but I would encourage you to do it soon. Don't wait. People always wait. They end up not being able to be part of the group because all of the group work's been done, so that the group gets credit for it, and you're stuck. And if you don't do part of the group work, you don't get credit for the group work. Usually there's 3 activities, so I give you 15 points for each activity you do. If you do all 3 and get all 3 done, you get 50 points. If you only do 2, you only get 30 out of 50. If you don't do 3 well, for instance, the group work, you've done some work, but it's very little, it's like 2 words, I'm not going to give you full credit for it. But normally you'll get full credit if you get on and do the work. That's the only way you can participate. It's just like being in class. If I give you attendance credit for being in class, you have to participate. If you just sit there and don't talk and don't get involved and don't participate, I wouldn't give you a participation grade. And that's the same here. You have to show up on Blackboard and you have to do something, because otherwise I don't know you're participating. So I hope that explains that. If you have questions, I know I've said that over and over, please ask me. You'll hear from me throughout. I give feedback. I will comment. If it's late work, I may not give you feedback. If you turn in late, you do have a chance to turn it in. You have about a week after the assignment has been given back to you graded to improve it if you'd like to do that. You don't have to, but if you want an A in the class, you can improve your grades. At the end of the semester, I will also give you some time to complete some work. But if you think you're going to go back to improve your grade from an assignment you did at the beginning of the semester, you will not get a chance to do that. I'm sorry, I just can't do that. I get bombarded with lots of work that people want me to take a look at the end, and my days are so full. I tell you, if I can check it and have time to check it and regrade it, I will. If I don't, I'm sorry, you take your chances. So if I were you, if you have some work you want to have redone, do it sooner in the semester than later, okay? It's just the way it works out. It's usually people are very successful, and I want you to be successful. That's the important part about being a teacher, is you want your students all to be successful, and I build in success in this class. Thanks for listening all the way through this video, and I hope I answered all of your questions, and I want to wish you lots of luck, and I look forward to getting to know you this semester.